Hi, and thank you for showing an interest in my yoga lessons. I'm a UK trained osteopath with 17 plus years in private practice. I've been doing yoga for many years, but for the last 10 years developed a great personal practice. I trained to become a yoga teacher partly because it was clear to me that many of the people I see in my clinics could be massively helped by yoga. Unfortunately, many that I suggested yoga to were reluctant, associating yoga with what they may see on Instagram, etc. "I'm not flexible enough, I can't do that," are typical comments. It's a pity that yoga sometimes is perceived like that, and I would love to change that. What I want to achieve with these video classes is to merge my osteopathy and anatomy knowledge with yoga and try and show you how learning some fundamental yoga routines can be great for your health. We're not looking for perfection or completing anything, but rather exploring your body's capability and hopefully learning more about yourself. As you will see, I'm by no means super flexible or strong. I'm a normal person trying to teach what I think is normal movements to normal people. Because of the nature of video, I can't see what you're doing or reach out to the TV to adjust you, so please bear that in mind when you do the lessons. Listen to your body and don't do anything that doesn't feel right or is painful. If you have any ongoing injuries, please check with your medical professional before attempting the classes. I do use some props in these videos and it would be useful for you to have a block, a brick and a belt. You can do the lessons without, but as I'm really keen on good alignment, the props become really helpful. I hope you find them helpful, and thank you again for taking the time to take part. I strongly suggest you do each class several times to get comfortable with the postures before you move on to the next one. The series is built to be progressive. The first 5 lessons will focus on the sun salutation and the second 5 lessons on the moon salutation. Now let's crack on. So, in today's lesson we're talking about lunging, and we're just going to talk about foot alignment, knee alignment before we start. So a lot of the time people are told to square up the outside edge of the foot with the edge of the mat. Now for me that doesn't work, my feet are very wide, so if I square up this bit here with the outside edge of the mat, it doesn't really work. It makes a lot of rotation in the leg. Now when I'm standing up, I can rotate through the hip, I can keep my knee aligned well. The problem is when you lunge or kneel, it becomes much harder. So as I kneel down, I've got, using a couple of pens just to show, got my pen on the front edge of the kneecap and the second pen on a point here called the tibial tuberosity. So they should be aligned when we're facing forward, so when we're lunging, because the knee doesn't like any rotation or any compression through the joint. So lunging down, especially if the back knee is off the floor, we're getting a lot of rotation and strain to the knee if we don't have this aligned. So if I'm going to align the outside edge of my foot parallel with the mat, I'm going to have to turn it quite like that, and as a result of that, my pens are not facing straight forward. Now, as I'm kneeling down on my back knee, that's less of a problem, but when I start to lift the back knee off, I'm going to load down through this knee a lot more, and I'm going to get this rotation. So if you want to, which obviously nobody does, but if you want to injure your cartilage, you want to rotate and compress. So often the second toe is much better alignment. So think about the second toe. Depending on the shape of your foot, you might have a very narrow foot, so the outside edge might be good, but for me it doesn't work, and generally I think it's much easier just to think the second toe. I've never come across a clear explanation why we want the outside edge facing parallel to the mat. I think some people think it's to open the back of the hips, open the sacrum, things like that. It doesn't really. So think more knee alignment here. That's much more important than anything else. We come down on our backs. We let everything relax. Feet rolling out. Feet are just spread apart, shoulder blades on the floor, and just bring your arms to your sides initially. Shuffle the arms away. Shoulder blades pushed into the floor, lift your chest a little bit. And then let this chest rest down on the floor. Lift your head, tuck your chin in, lengthen the neck down into the floor. And just close your eyes. And as you lie here, just notice if the whole body's relaxed. Notice where you're breathing. Not trying to change anything at the minute. Just take a couple of deep breaths in and out. And in again. And out. And just place your hands on your stomach. Try and make it so the fingertips are just touching on the top of your stomach. Elbows relaxed on the floor, shoulder blades are still relaxed. And as you breathe in, rise tummy up. As you inhale into the stomach, fingers come apart. Breathe out, stomach just drops back down. Fingers just touching again. Inhale, stomach rising gently. Exhale, stomach just dropping back down. Just keep breathing like that. Making sure the rest of the body is relaxed. Back of the head, neck nice and long, shoulder blades relaxed. And really try and let breath really expand that stomach as you breathe in. Stomach just relaxing down as you breathe out. One more breath here. And breathe out. Just move your hands up to your lower ribs. This time the fingers probably won't be touching. As you breathe in, notice what naturally happens. And as you breathe out, let the ribs relax. Generally, as you breathe in here, the ribs expand sideways, often referred to as a bucket handle movement. Handle hinging off the bucket sideways. And keep the stomach nice and relaxed. Breathing sideways in. And relaxing as you breathe out, and just let those ribs spring back. Shoulder blades are still relaxed. Shoulders relaxed. Back of the head resting on the floor. Just feeling how inhalation just spreads those ribs, pushing those hands apart a bit. And as you breathe out, they just bring back in. Bring the hands a bit closer together. Couple more breaths in. Just move your hands up to the upper chest. Try and touch the collarbones. So again, maybe just lifting the head, make sure you still got that neck nice and long. Everything's relaxed, shoulder blades are still relaxed. Upper arms resting on the floor. Let's breathe in here. Just feel the chest rising up to the ceiling. And as you breathe out, it just drops back down. Breathing in, rising up. This is sometimes referred to as a pump handle movement. So we're expanding front to back. And this is often where we breathe the most in our day-to-day life. Often utilizing only really the top part of the lung. And sometimes breathing up here only can create a lot of tension around the neck and shoulders. So the part of this exercise is just to try and get better at localizing where you breathe and giving you options. Spreading the breath through the whole of the torso. Not suggesting that this kind of breath is a day-to-day breath. This is an exercise. An exercise in control, learning where the breath can go and how to do it. Just a couple more breaths up here. Letting that chest rise up and drop down. Just bring your arms to your sides again, palms to the ceiling. And just let the breath go where it wants to go. Just lie here for a moment. From our supine position, we're just going to get hold of our right knee. Just bring it in. Interlace your fingers around the knee. Just pull it gently towards the chest. No pain in front of the hip, no pain anywhere. And gently bring your attention to the left leg. See if it's rolling out. We want to again try and get it nice and straight. Second toe pointing to the ceiling. Pull the toes back. Push the heel into the floor gently, which just lifts the back of the left knee off the floor. Both hips nice and equal, resting down into the floor. Shoulder blades relaxed. Lifting that head up again, tuck the chin in, and drop the head down on the floor. As you breathe in, resting here. And as you breathe out, just pull that knee in gently a little bit more, making sure we keep that left leg active. Dropping that leg down onto the floor, straightening it out, swap it over. Bring the left leg in, interlace your fingers around your thigh. You can also put them behind. If you've got knee problems, just bring it behind. Making sure we just bring our tension into the right leg to start with. Bring those toes back, second toe pointing to the ceiling. Heel pushed into the floor. Breathe in here. As you breathe out, just bring that knee in a little bit closer. Breathe in here. Breathe out and bring it in a bit closer. Just keep hold of the left leg, bring the right knee in. And again here, Either interlace behind the knees, if it's comfortable, interlace your fingers on top of the knees. Feeling the whole back resting into the floor. The neck always tends to extend, so we're just going to lift the head up again, tuck our chin in, dropping the head to the floor. Maybe just rocking from side to side a little bit, just massaging those back muscles. Waking up the back. Let go of the knees, put your hands by your sides, and with good stomach control, dropping the legs slowly down to the floor. Keeping the distance roughly as it is, but just get them hip width apart. Bring your arms out to the side, palms to the ceiling. A deep breath in here. And as you breathe out, drop the knees over to the right. Just letting the legs relax. We're not pushing and pulling on anything. Bottom leg is probably resting on the floor, the top one will be floating up a little bit more. The important thing, keeping the shoulder blades on the floor. Keeping the arms nice and long, maybe stretching the fingers, really opening the palms up. And relaxing the fingers, let everything go. Couple of breaths here. Deep breath in as you bring the knees back up. Drop them over to the other side as you breathe out. Same principle here. Bottom leg resting on the floor probably, top one floating up. Looking for a gentle stretch through the hips and the back. Shoulder blades still relaxing on the floor. Maybe see if those fingers can reach a bit further out. Spread the palms again. Press the fingers on the floor. Couple of breaths in here. As you breathe out, just resting into it a bit more. And out. Breathe in, bring the knees back up. Bring your arms to your sides. I'm just going to move this arm away so you can just see. But what we're looking for now is pelvic tilts. So we're going to bring our feet slightly closer in, comfortably in. No pain in the knees, no strain anywhere. What we're looking for is using the breath as a tool to help with the pelvic tilts. So as we breathe in, we roll away, we're creating space underneath the back, increasing that gap. The hips are still on the floor, ribs are still on the floor. As we breathe out, we'll flatten the back into the floor, tilting the pelvis, pulling the stomach in. Hips stay on the floor, ribs on the floor, the whole back is on the floor. Breathe in, we arch away, we're rolling that way. Arching up, belly button goes to the ceiling, ribs stay on the floor, hips stay on the floor. Breathe in, tilt the other way, flatten the stomach, pull the tummy in. Breathe in, roll away. It's like it bellows, opening the bellows. Air flows into the lungs. As we breathe out, we're closing the bellows. Air flows out. 2 more. Breathe in, roll up. Arch the back. Air flows in. The breath becomes passive. We're not doing it. It happens naturally. Breathe out. Tilting the pelvis, flattening the back. Air flows out. Last one. Breathe in, arching the back, hips on the floor, ribs on the floor. Breathe out, round the back into the floor. And just settle that in the middle, so halfway between each end position. Lift your hips off the ground, shuffle your shoulder blades down your back, arms by your sides. Really externally rotate the arms, push your shoulder blades into the floor. Thumbs down on the floor, fingertips of this little finger lifted. From here, roll the palms over, down to the floor. Then come into bridge. So we're going to do our pelvic tilt again, and then we're just going to lift our back off the floor. So Breathe in here, roll away. Arch the back. Breathe out, pelvic tilt, and then we peel the spine off the floor, one vertebrae at a time. Rolling up. Coming up roughly with our shoulders, hips and knees in a line. Watching out for the knees not spreading apart, which they often want to do. Keep them over the ankles. Pushing into the feet. Especially the knuckle of the big toe wants to lift. Arch is maintained. Trying to get an equal pressure through the heels, big toe, little toe, knuckle. While we're up here, we're pelvic tilting, so we're tucking the pelvis under, trying to flatten the back. And push the shoulder blades into the floor, lift the upper back. Hips relaxed, neck is nice and long. Just staying here for a moment. Jaw relaxed. Probably keeping your eyes closed. And then rolling the spine down slowly back down towards the floor, trying to feel each vertebrae touching down into the floor one at a time. As we get towards the lower back, we're really tugging the pelvis under to try and flatten the back and get each vertebrae touching down before the pelvis touches down. Then take a deep breath in, we roll the pelvis away, arching that back up. Straight back up into the bridge. Pushing into the feet, peeling the spine off the floor one vertebrae at a time, rolling up to the ceiling. Shoulder, hip and knee roughly in alignment, tucking the pelvis under. Pushing your shoulder blades into the floor, lifting the upper back. Arms are relaxed, neck is relaxed. Jaw is relaxed. Again, those big toes want to come off the ground, so push them into the ground. Make sure the knees aren't floating out to the side. Just holding this for a few breaths. Looking for any unnecessary tension anywhere. Jaw, neck. Making this a comfortable position gradually. Great for strength building. Squeezing the glutes gently, the back of the hips gently. Keep the legs active. As we breathe out, we roll back down, one vertebrae at a time. As we get towards the lower back, we're tucking that pelvis under, flattening the back into the floor. As we're down there, we breathe in, we arch away. Pelvic tilt, flatten the back. Gaze the core, just lift the feet off the ground. Bring them in. Interlace your fingers around your knees. Just rest there for a moment. Draw the hands. Feet down. Straighten the legs out along the floor. Hands by your side, everything relaxed.
Coming all to all fours, just really pushing into the palms of the hands, knuckle of the second finger, making sure the wrists are under the shoulders, knees under the hips. And just maybe shuffling just a little bit to get the knees comfortable. Feet are flat. Push into the feet, lift the knees off the ground slightly if you can, drop them back down. Really starting to think about spreading the load out of the knees by pushing into the front of the feet. We're trying to gradually get the whole shin taking the weight. So do the cat. So as we breathe in, we arch our back, dropping the tummy towards the floor, extending, looking up. Breathing out, we round the back, tucking the pelvis under, pushing into the hands, rounding up to the ceiling. Chin tucked in. Breathe in. Dropping, arching, looking up. Breathe out, rounding the back, pushing into the hands and the knees, tugging the chin in. Really trying to get the whole spine involved in this. Breathing in, arching, pulling the hands back towards the knees. Breathing out, rounding the back, chin tucked in. Almost imagining the bellows. Naturally the breath wants to be pushed out. As we open the bellows, breath just rushes in. Breathing out. Just really getting familiar with this movement. We're going to be doing this a lot. Breathing in. Noticing if any particular part of your back doesn't want to bend. Might often be the middle back. Push as you breathe out. Push into the ground. Breathe in. Arching, looking forward and up. Breathe out and rounding. Breathe in for the last time. Go forward and arch. Extend. Breathe out, rounding up to the ceiling, letting that air just escape out. And then we're going to find the middle of two of the extremes, neutral spine. Pushing into the hands, make sure we're not sagging down through the shoulders, so push into the shoulders, push into the hands. Trying to keep the weight evenly distributed through your palms. Going to straighten the right leg behind you, just up to hip height or near hip height, no higher. So it can be down, but no higher than hip height. Just holding it there. Making sure there's a bend in the elbows. As much as possible, trying to keep the weight distribution even between the two hands. Pushing into the shoulders. Engage the core gently, keeping that neutral spine position. Developing your core strength here. Straightening that leg back a bit more. Resting into this pose. If the knee's starting to niggle, push into the front of your foot. Or you can fold over your mat twice just to give a bit more cushioning to the knee, or use a little blanket or cushion. Just a little bit longer here. Jaw relaxed, everything's relaxed apart from what you're working with. Be efficient in your movement. Drop the knee to the floor. Just making sure we got those hands comfortable. Dropping into the other one, lifting that left leg up, out behind you. As much as possible, trying to keep the weight bearing through both hands equal. Engage the core. Hips level, so we don't want the hips sticking up, so keep that level. Elbows gently bent. Lifting the leg, extending the leg, making it active. Maybe pushing into the front of the foot just to take pressure off the knee. Everything is stable, everything's calm, jaw is relaxed. Building strength in an efficient way. Let's not waste energy and holding tension where we don't need it. Pushing into the hands a bit more as the shoulders start to sag. Just a little bit longer. Gently dropping that knee to the floor and dropping back into child. Just resting here for a moment. So as long as your knees are comfortable, we're aiming to get our hips on our heels. Reaching forward with the hands, so we're still keeping the palms pushing into the floor. The head drops forward. If you can't get all the way back, just find a point where you're comfortable, or you can put a little rolled up towel behind your knees, or anything like that. Just dropping back, gradually trying to work for that knee mobility. As long as they're comfortable. Knees do not benefit from being pushed too hard. Do not benefit from no pain, no gain approach to exercise. They just get angry about it and inflamed and irritated. So don't push them. Now in this position we're going to start working with our alignments for a down facing dog. So as our heels are on our hips, we reach forward with the arms as far as we can, and that should in theory be the length we need for our down facing dog. Palms are pushed into the floor, knuckle and a second finger pushed into the floor. Coming up on all fours. Tucking the toes under. Dropping back. Pushing into the hands, but really we're going to try and come up into down facing dog using our leg strength. So we lift the knees off the floor, pushing back, extending. Bend into the knees as much as you need to, and just pedal the feet. You need to bend one knee, bend the other. Watching that knuckle and the second finger wanting to rise up, pushing it into the floor. Bend both knees, push back. And here we're just going to do a couple of breaths with a couple of movements. So as you breathe in, come up on tiptoes. Breathe out, drop your heels towards the floor, getting the calf stretch. Breathe in, lift your toes. Breathe out, put your toes down, bend your knees. Breathe in, up on tiptoes, pushing your hips to the ceiling. Breathe out, drop your heels towards the floor, keep good alignment through everything. Breathe in, lift your toes. Breathe out, bend your knees. Drop down, come back into child. This time put your hands by your side. Just rest here for a moment, then we're going to repeat that. Notice how resting on your thighs, you're going to have to breathe into the back of your body, to your rib cage. Hands out in front again. Get that alignment, heels in the hips. Hands forward, up into, tuck the toes under, up into down facing dog, lift the knees, push back. Get your feet hip width apart. Pedal the feet a little bit. Bend into both knees. Breathe in as you come up on your tiptoes. Breathe out as you drop your heels towards the floor. Breathe in as you lift your toes. Breathe out as you bend your knees. Breathe in, really push those hips to the ceiling, really push them up as you come up on tiptoes. Breathe out, drop your heels to the floor. Breathe in, lift your toes. Breathe out, bend your knees. From here we're going to walk our feet forwards. So we end up dangling over. And here we can use our block if you want. Put your hands on your block. Whichever way is right for you. You might be up here, you might be here, you might be here. But gradually we need to get rid of the block as we get more flexible. Bending into the knees as much as you need to. Letting the head drop over. Dangling down, shoulders relaxed. No strain in the back, just feeling a stretch in your legs. Stay here for a moment. Breathing in, coming back up. Arms together in front. Just stay here for a moment. Just start by standing, looking down at your feet, getting that second toe pointing forwards roughly, spread the toes, lift the toes, place them down nice and wide, and maybe rocking from side to side a little bit, just trying to wake up the feet. Our feet get desperately lazy from wearing shoes all day, so we need to wake them up. We really need to feel what's going on underneath the feet, so rocking from side to side, finding the middle point there. Rocking back to front. Again, looking for pressure going into the toes, pressure into the heels.
Just rocking back and forwards, looking for the middle point there. Lifting those toes again, activate the arches, spread the toes. Really feel the strength down through the feet. Feel that the surface you're standing on. Feel that lovely contact with the ground. Roll your shoulders forward, up round your ears, down your back. Open the chest. Knees, mini bend in the knees as always. Knees over the ankles. Hips over the knees. Gentle engagement of the stomach. Back is in neutral. Chest open. Shoulders open. Bring the arms to the ceiling. Reach up, nice and tall. And as you breathe out, bring them down. Palms facing forward. Fingers to the floor. Push your nose, hands away, fingers away. Chin tucked in slightly. Length through the neck. And just stand here for a moment. Maybe close your eyes if it feels right for you, if you can balance in this position. And just feel how everything's stacked, everything's lined up. We've got the lovely contact with the ground. Really feeling what's under our feet. Knees gently bent, hips over knees. Core gently engaged, shoulders open. Shoulders down the back, pushing those fingers towards the floor. Length through the neck, chin tucked in. Open the eyes. Breathe in, bring the arms up to the ceiling. Reaching up. Breathe out, fold forwards. Hands down to the floor. Bend into the knees so you can get your hands, fingertips on the floor. Doesn't matter how much you bend the knees, we don't want any strain in the back. Letting the head drop down and ankle. As you breathe in, pull the fingertips back. Just look forwards a little bit. Arch your back if you can. As you breathe out, bend forward, fold from the hips, push into your heels. Gently straighten the legs a bit more. Breathe in, forward and up. And breathe out, fold forwards and dangle. Just staying here for a moment. You should feel like a stretch in the back of the legs. Again, looking down at those feet. Have the arches collapsed in. Second toe still pointing forwards. Lifting the toes, spread the toes. Breathe in, coming back up. Reach into the ceiling. Bring the arms back out to Tadasana. Mountain pose. Noticing if you're in the same position you were when you started this segment. Have you lost the alignments? Are you still feeling the feet? Are you leaning into the heels too much, into the toes? Are the arches collapsed? Have you straightened the knees? The tummy come out? Are we swaying back? Have shoulders hunched? Come back up. We're going to go into Warrior 1 now. So we need to really remember about this knee alignment, second toe. We're going to do quite a wide Warrior 1. So if you're used to doing a very narrow one, I suggest you try this wider one. It's much kinder on the hips. And I don't particularly see the point of a really narrow stance in Warrior 1, unless you're doing this in a very narrow space, which hopefully you're not. So typically the alignment is front heel to back instep, or front heel to back heel. And we're going to try and go wider just to open those hips up. So looking down at your feet and just walking the feet apart. So we're just going to straight away go wider than the hips, just to get you, and then just rocking there for a bit. That's it. Get that sensation down through. That's it. Get everything lined up again. Shoulder blades still relaxed. Stepping back with the right leg. Trying to keep the space, sideways space. So you can see my back heel is hitting nowhere near the back. My front heel is hitting nowhere near the back foot. We're arching. We're lifting the arch of the back foot, lifting the toes, pushing out into the outside edge of the back foot, and then we got this front knee alignment business. Second toe, nice straight line through the knee, knees over the ankle, hands on the hips. So for me, actually, I need to bring this foot a little bit further forward. So again, you might find that initially you're not in the right place, so just shuffle around. Hands on your hips. Twist round. So I'm much more interested in getting the front edge of the pelvis parallel with the front edge of the mat. but again it doesn't matter if it's slightly twisted, as long as the knee alignments are good. Lifting into that back arch to stop that back knee buckling down. This is where things go wrong as well. So lift and open. Pushing into the outside edge of the back foot. Hands on the hips, twist forward. Breathe in here. Breathe out, lunge a little bit deeper. Making sure you got the weight equally between the front and the back foot. Trying to really push into both feet. Feel really stable in this position. Breathe in, arms go up to the ceiling. And as you stand here, we're reaching up with the fingertips. Nice strong fingers, nice strong hands. But the shoulder blades are resting down. We're not hunching the shoulder blades up around the ears. Shoulder blades are down. Take a deep breath in. And as you breathe it out, just extend a little bit. Chin gently tucked in. Couple of breaths in. Come back up to neutral. Step back foot to the front, arms down. And just let the breath settle. Step the left leg back. Again, looking for that wide stance. Now you've done one side, you might find, oh okay, I need to lunge a bit more or a little bit less. Whatever's right for you. Back foot. Outside edge of the back foot lift, pushed into the ground. Arch lifted. Watching that back knee that's not buckling in. That's really not good. Lift it out. So again, if it is buckling in, bring it closer. Make it much narrower. Then it's not going to buckle in. Arch lifted on the back foot. Toes lifted. Push into that back foot. Front foot. Second toe alignment. Knee over ankle. Hands on the hips. Twist. Pelvis to the front. Pushing into both feet. Equally. Outside edge. Back foot. Hold of the front foot. Big toe of the back foot. So we're trying to keep the big toe on the back foot pushed down as well on the heel, but really focusing on the outside edge of the back foot. Breathe in here. Breathe out, arms come up. Length through the spine. Again, watching those shoulder blades. Don't want it hunching up, we want to rest them down. We want to reach up with the fingertips, shoulder blades are resting down. Not massively pulling them down, just let them rest where they belong. Breathe in here. And breathe out, lean back gently. Breathe in here. And again, chin tucked in slightly. Again, really feeling for those both feet. We've got equal weight bearing through both feet. Are the arches active? No strain in the knees, pelvis to the front. Last breath here. Arms down, back foot to front. Bring the feet back into shoulder width. Second toe forward, arms to the ceiling. And fall forwards, Uttanasana. Bend the knees, hands on the floor. And just dangle over here. Head relaxed. So we're coming down to sitting. And just sit with your legs crossed, however is comfortable for you. But before we get into this, we just need to talk about sitting on the floor and why using a block can be very helpful. Most of us slump down in our backs as we sit, our shoulders round. And then we try and sit up straight, we try to lift from the upper chest, a lot of tension in the upper chest and the middle back doesn't work. What we want to do is we want to sit on the sit bones, and to do that, because most of us are a little bit stiff, if you sit on a block it's much nicer. So I much prefer to sit on a block, even though I can do it without. I don't see any particular purpose. I'm not here to prove anything. I want to be comfortable, I want to be stable when I sit, because you are going to be sitting here for a little while, so make sure you are as well. So sitting on a block, if you have, it can be books, if you haven't got a block, anything like that. Looking for nice alignment through the back. Rolling the shoulders forward, up around the ears, down the back.
chin tucked in slightly. Breathe in here. And breathe out. Bring your right hand to your left knee, other hand behind on the floor. Breathe in here. And as you breathe out, twist round, maintaining that nice length through the spine, not collapsing forwards. Doesn't matter how far you twist. It's more important you do it with a nice straight spine. Breathe in here. When breathing, it just naturally elongates the spine, opens the chest. And as you breathe out, just twist a little bit more. Gently pulling on the knee, pushing on the hand behind you, levering yourself around. Last one. Breathe in here. Breathe out and twist. Breathe in here. Length up through the spine. Breathe out, come back to neutral. Just make sure everything's lined up. Maybe cross the legs the other way around. If you're getting tired sitting one way. Shuffling those hips, make sure everything's nicely lined up. Nice deep breath in here. Left hand to your right knee, other one behind. Breathe in here. Breathe out and twist. Not concerned at all about how far you twist, but feeling a nice stretch through the rib cage, through the back. Shoulder blades are down, chin tucked in slightly. Breathe in here. Breathe out and twist more. Breathe in here. Breathe out and twist more. Take a nice deep breath in. And as you breathe out, come back to neutral. Maybe crossing the legs again the other way. It's quite nice just to get more familiar with swapping positions. Shuffling those hips. So you're sitting on the sit bones. Bring your right arm by your side. Left one on the side of the head. Chin tucked in slightly, looking down towards the floor. And close your eyes if you want. And as you breathe in, length up through the spine. And as you breathe out, just gently letting the head drop over to the left. Right shoulder is pushing down towards the floor, hand pushing down towards the floor. Not pulling and yanking on the head of the left arm. It's just the weight of the left arm that's just pulling it across. Watching out for that left shoulder not being hunched up. As you notice mine was. So there's a constant interrogation going on in your body. What's tense? Should I be doing this? Am I holding on to something? Breathing in, lengthen up through the spine. Breathing out, just pulling the neck across a little bit more. Breathe in and up. Breathe out. Push that right hand towards the floor. Drop the head towards the left a little bit more. Chin still tucked in, looking down towards the floor. Bring the head back up. Swap the arms. Push that left hand towards the floor, opening that left shoulder. Hand on the side of the head. And pull the head to the right. Chin tucked in. Shoulder blade relaxed on the right. Breathe in here. Breathe out and pull across a bit more. Breathe in here. And breathe out. Spine stays nice and long, sitting into those sit bones, maintaining the arches in the low back. Shoulder blades open. Chest open. Last slow breath here. Unhook the arm. Hands by your sides. Before we lie down, we're just going to do a little bit of breathing. Just going back to where we started this lesson. The 3-part breath. Stomach, chest, upper chest. So we breathe in, stomach, chest, upper chest. And as we breathe out, we feel the shoulder blades sliding down the back. Opening the shoulders, opening the chest. But before we do, let's make sure we've got a nice spine alignment. Sitting on your blocks, shuffling the hips. Make sure you're sitting on the sit bones or ischial tuberosities. If you don't know what they are, put your hand under your hips. And under there, there'll be some bony. If you roll around, you'll find a couple of bony points. Those are where you should be sitting, not on the sacrum, which is what often happens to me. Maybe just gently pulling the flesh back. So we're really making sure we're sitting there. Shoulders roll forward, up, and down the back. Chin tucked in, close your eyes. Back of the wrists on the knees. Thumb and second finger just touching. Rest of the fingers relaxed. As we breathe in, stomach, chest, collarbones. Breathe out, down the back. Shoulder blades sliding down. Breathing in, stomach, chest, collarbones. Breathing out, shoulder blades slide down the back. Breathing in, stomach, chest, collarbones. Shoulder blades sliding down the back. Stomach, chest, collarbones. Breathing out as the shoulder blades slide down the back. Just continue that at your own breath lengths. Keeping the chin tucked in, length through the neck. Really noticing those sit bones, feeling the weight down through them. Letting the knees drop out, resting in whatever cross-leg position you're in. Back of the wrist resting on the knees. Shoulder blades down the back. No point are we hunching up the shoulder blades. Jaw relaxed. And if you're finding this 3-part breath difficult because you've never done it before, don't worry. Just breathe in, get a sense of the breath rising up the front. And as you breathe out, shoulder blades slide down the back. Always breathing in through the nose, out through the nose. Most breathing practice in yoga is all done through the nose. Physiologically, it's a much better way to breathe. There's many benefits. Really feeling that air traveling in through the nose as you're maintaining your 3-part breath. Breathing in stomach, chest, and collarbones. Letting the shoulder blades just resting down the back. Next time you breathe out, just go back to your normal breath. Just notice how your body feels now, especially the shoulder blades and the torso. Maybe noticing if there's a difference in your breath. Just take a couple of normal breaths here. Asana. Bring yourself lying on your back, legs comfortably apart, feet rolling out, arms by your sides, spreading the palms, spreading the fingers, reaching down, shuffling the shoulders away from your ears, lifting your head, tugging your chin in, dropping your head to the floor. Just really resting into the floor. Take a nice deep breath in, breathing out and resting, just softening, feeling the body heavy as it relaxes onto the floor. Breathing in again, breathing out. Bring your attention to your right big toe, second toe, third toe, fourth toe, fifth toe, the sole of the right foot, the top of the right foot, the right ankle, the shin, the right calf, the kneecap, the right knee, front of the right thigh, back of the right thigh, front of the right hip, back of the right hip. Bring your attention to your left foot, to your left big toe, second toe, third toe, fourth toe, fifth toe, sole of the left foot, toe of the left foot, the ankle, the shin, the left calf, the left kneecap, the knee, front of the left thigh, back of the left thigh, front of the left hip, back of the left hip. Bring your attention to the palm of your right hand, the thumb, the second finger, third finger, fourth finger, fifth finger, the back of the right hand, the wrist, the forearm, the right elbow, the right upper arm, front of the right shoulder, back of the right shoulder. Bring your attention to the left palm of the hand, left thumb, second finger, third finger, fourth finger, fifth finger, the back of the hand, the wrist, the forearm, the elbow, the upper arm, front of the left shoulder, back of the left shoulder. Bring your attention to the back of the pelvis, the left pelvis, the right pelvis, the low back, the middle back, the back of the left rib cage, back of the right rib cage, the shoulder blades, the left shoulder blade and the right shoulder blade, back of the neck. Bring your attention to the back of the head, the top of the head, the left eyebrow, the right eyebrow, the left eye, the right eye. Feel both eyes resting down, the left cheek, the right cheek, the nose, left nostril, right nostril, the top lip, the bottom lip. Bring your attention to the left jaw, right jaw, the whole jaw relaxing. Bring your attention to the front of your throat. Totally relaxed. Bring your attention to the front of the chest, front of the left rib cage, front of the right rib cage, the stomach. Bring your attention to the whole right leg, whole left leg, whole right arm, whole left arm. Bring your attention to the pelvis, the whole back, the whole front of the body. Bring your attention to the whole head. Bring your attention to the whole of the back body, right from the feet to the top of the head. Bring your attention to the whole of the front body, tip of the toes to the top of the head. Bring your attention to the whole body as it rests down on the floor. Bring your attention to the whole body as it rests down on the floor. And just stay here for a few minutes. Gradually start to deepen your breath. Feeling the breath traveling into your lungs, down into your abdomen. Stomach rising up as you breathe in. And relaxing down as you breathe out. Wriggling your fingers and your toes, rubbing your thumb over your fingertips. Circling the ankles, just rolling around one way and the other. Bringing the feet together. Take a deep breath in as you bring the arms over your head, back of the hands on the floor. Breathing out as you rest down here. Breathe in. Hold your breath, stretch out through the left side, left leg, left arm, right side, right leg, right arm, both sides together. And as you breathe out, bring your arms back down to your sides. Bring your feet into semi-supine. Just hug the knees in. Maybe rocking from side to side. Rolling onto your right side. Just staying here for a moment. When you're ready, come up to sitting. Cross-legged. Length through the spine. Bring your arms together in front of your chest.
Drop your chin to your chest. And just sit here for a moment and notice how you feel now. And thank you for taking part.